Nithyanandam, with all auspicious blessings and grace of my Guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, I welcome you to this video again. Today, again I wanted to share with you about the preamble of Kailasa's constitution, the Bhagavad Gita, and a specific chapter from that book, which is Sannyasa Yoga, chapter 5. This is a continuation from my previous video where I have shared about my certain understandings I have understood after reading Swamiji's revelation or the decodation of Bhagavad Gita. You may wonder why chapter 5, which is about Sannyasa Yoga, and why I am making this video to share about it. Watch this video till the end to understand and know and practice certain techniques that will take you to a deeper levels of completions about yourself, about who you are and why you are born. Swamiji says the most difficult thing in this planet for him as an avatar is to make a human being understand that he or she is not what they identified themselves as. They are something more. Getting the person, the human being, to reconnect to his Shiva Tanmay, the superconsciousness inside him, is the most challenging, the most difficult task. As you journey through these videos with me and you start the life of self-exploration, you will perfectly understand why or how it is difficult, of how far away we are from our realness, our real consciousness. The journey of looking in is not easy, but do not give up. The journey of looking in is not for the faint-hearted. The journey of looking in and self-realization, the Atma Jnana, is not for the weak-hearted. It is only for people who are extremely determined, have a very strong will to live life and fulfill the purpose of the birth they have taken on this planet Earth. Swamiji says every human being is born with a purpose. Most of the time, we carry the purpose, whatever reason or whatever we were thinking of when we died in our last births. For example, if I died thinking, oh, this life I have really suffered so much, I have worked so much, but next life I just want to relax, have a good life, then I may be born as a pig. But in my previous birth, while I'm lying on my deathbed, and if I've achieved everything I wanted to achieve in life, yet I feel there's a vacuum in my life. Yet if I feel unhappy, and instead of thinking, oh, I need to gather more material wealth, I need to have more friends, I need to have more success or more fame, if I had thought, no, I have achieved all this, yet I'm not happy, so there is something seriously missing in my life. It is not money, it is not friends, it is not just material wealth that I need something more. What is that? If I die with that thought, you are reborn with the same inclination to find out the source of your existence. So I had a doubt once. I asked Swamiji, so if I am born on this planet, to know and understand and get reconnected to my source, why do I actually dislike it so much? Why is it so difficult? I know I'm happy going out, I'm happy with my friends, I'm happy partying, I'm happy reading books, doing what I want to do. I don't want to actually look in and find out my source, because I think it's, first of all, I don't even know what it is. And if I'm born for a purpose, it's God's headache to find me or show me the purpose, not mine. Why do I feel like that? If I am born with a purpose, every human being is born with the sole purpose of enlightenment. then why do we move so far away from enlightenment that we start even delegitimizing it? We think it's a myth. We think it is non-existential, and even if it exists, it's for those very few who go back into the, how we hear in stories, who go into the forest and do tapas for thousands of years. And we are not ready to do that sacrifice or tyaga. Why do I feel that? And I'm happy with the life the way it is. I'm not actually unhappy or discontent. So Swamiji was said for that. See, every birth on this planet Earth, the purpose of the birth of the soul is to merge back with the superconsciousness, with the unmanifest, with Paramashiva. This is the purpose. But the moment soul lands into a body and the body is born into the world, he just starts getting diverted, distracted. And this is the work of Maya. You may wonder that you may be, right from your childhood, how you were born, how you were brought up. This is what defines us. If someone tells me I'm a girl from my child, I do believe I'm a girl till my death. But if someone tells me, no, you're a boy and you're meant to do these things, from the time I'm born, I will live only with that fundamental belief of myself. So how I am to be blamed for that? It is the society around me who does not tell me that I am not this body, I am much more. So how do we get out of this? This was my question to Swamiji at one point of time. Swamiji, that's when he explained the whole consciousness level of humanity has fallen so low that they have forgotten their own self. It is not just about what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad. It is not that we've not just forgotten that. We've all forgotten to live as per our consciousness, as per what we are guided from our inner space. We override that, the set of our incompletions. So that is when an incarnation comes back to earth, and it's like he's heralding us all back into that one source called the superconsciousness. It's like he has to forcefully guide us, whether he likes it, whether it's easy, whether it is difficult. It's like a father. Whether you have good children or bad children, the father's responsibility is you love the father, you love the children. Until the end of life, an ideal father will do everything for his child, good, bad, ugly. That is not in a consideration for a father or a mother. An ideal parent will do everything for the children without even having to think of the sacrifices or crib that they do not have time for themselves. That is an ideal, an epitome of a parent. An incarnation is not only an epitome of a parent, he's much more than that. He doesn't just give blessings or boons. His responsibility is your enlightenment, which is the singular most difficult task available on this planet at this point of time. So I used to always wonder why we should bother. If someone wants enlightenment, they can find the path. There are so many ways to do. Why we should put in the hard work, why we should do it. For me also, I would feel that. I first of all knew I was a seeker for many years, even before I met Swamiji. So that's how I came across Swamiji's teachings. But I never understood the depth of responsibilism. Why every human being's enlightenment is so important. I would never understand it. Though I have read masters who have done so much for the disciples, I have read, the previous incarnation stories and all that, I would say, okay, why they have to do so much? But then when I was initiated into sannyas, and even then I didn't understand, frankly. Only when later on, as I understood the depth of the commitment that an incarnation has towards every human being, it's actually uncomprehending. And makes me feel, my God, human beings are so lucky to have an incarnation who is ready to hold us in spite what we do. So how do we get to such a stage that we just are forgetting the purpose of our existence, the purpose of our birth? This is where we have to remember the Yaksha's jar. Do you remember I spoke about the Yakshas jar in my previous video? If you have not watched that video, I will drop the link below in the description box. Go to that video and see what I have spoken. I have not actually spoken, I have just shared what Swamiji has already spoken about incompletions in the Yakshas jar in his book, The Bhagavad Gita Decoded. If you take that Yakshas jar as a set of incompletions, you will perfectly understand where you're heading, how you're heading, and what you need to do to get out of those incompletions. You just need to destroy the Yakshas jar. You don't need to do anything else. You just need to decide to take it and throw it out. The rest of the work Paramashiva is ready to do. Swamiji will just do it simply if you throw out the Yakshas jar. But as long as you keep the Yakshas jar inside and you're possessed by it and obsessed by it, nobody can help you. Because it is an individual decision, right? Whether you want the Yakshas jar or you want enlightenment. It's a decision. Now I want to ask you all, what would you choose? A set of incompletions packaged in a Yakshas jar that comes as suffering, rage, anger, violence, depression, or you would choose enlightenment. You may wonder, why? How does enlightenment help me? I just want to be a good human being. But let me share with you. Enlightenment is beyond goodness. You will even understand what goodness means only when you start your journey towards enlightenment. Because enlightenment and goodness are very different things. When you say, I want to be a good human being, you are limiting yourself. But when you want to experience enlightenment, you are expanding yourself, and what you consider as good, the peak of that goodness is enlightenment. And for me, if anybody asks me who I see as a role model, as the best of all the good things packaged in this earth, it would be only Swamiji. In every aspect, it is the peak, it is the infinite peak, the depth, the breadth, the width, everything is Swamiji in all ways. Whether it's compassion, whether it's help, or whether it's care, whether his commitment to every human being for enlightenment. It is only Swamiji, and I really would recommend, and you should experience Swamiji's commitment to your life. And that is an experience you will never want to miss again once you've experienced it. Even if you just come for a program, even if you just see him in darshan, he is there with you. Even if you just listen to his teachings, even once, he's there with you for the rest of your life. That is his commitment. Anyway, I'm going to come back to the Yakshas jar story, which Swamiji shared in the book, The Bhagavad Gita Decoded. Now, the Yakshas jar is the set of incompletions we carry about ourselves in society. And this Yakshas jar is made of a Brahma Kapalam. There's a beautiful story about this Brahma Kapalam and how it came about. All of you may know the Brahma that we see now today with 4 heads. But centuries ago, eons ago, he had 5 heads, just like Lord Paramashiva. Paramashiva 5 heads, Brahma 5 heads. Now what happened? After some time, Brahma started thinking that, even Paramashiva has 5 heads, I also have 5 heads, what's the difference? Whatever he can do, I can do, whatever I can do is all he can do. That is how he started comparing himself to Paramashiva. And he started even plagiarizing his work, plagiarizing his teachings, and even copying a lot of his things and taking credit for all the work that Paramashiva did. This is a completely different story, and there are many YouTube channels who have shared about this, and Swamiji has also spoken how Brahma has plagiarized Paramashiva's work and taken credit for his work and tried to pass himself off as Paramashiva. Paramashiva was very patient, thinking, okay, he's just delusional. After all, it's Brahma. In a few days, he will realize, he will change. But no, Brahma was not ready to change. He started becoming more egoistic. Since he started plagiarizing work of Paramashiva and taking credit to Paramashiva's work, he started feeling he's Paramashiva, forgetting that Paramashiva had another face, the Adhomukha. the face of the superconsciousness, the ultimate superconsciousness. He forgot about that, which obviously Brahma doesn't have. So when he didn't remember. After giving him a long rope, Paramashiva decides, okay, this is high time we stop this, because he is becoming violent now. It is not just because he's plagiarizing my work or taking credit for my work. He is going around destroying things and becoming violent. I need to put a stop to it. So he just takes a nail and he just flicks it in the air, and Mahakala Bhairava manifests. The story of Mahakala Bhairava is so intense that I really cannot even start expressing it. You need to hear the story narrated by Swamiji, and it is available on his YouTube channel. The SPH is Kailasa Nithyananda channel on YouTube. Oh my God, the story of Mahakala Bhairava, the manifestation of Mahakala Bhairava, who Mahakala Bhairava is, and what he can do for each of our lives. If you just listen to how Swamiji has revealed about Mahakala Bhairava, he would become your permanent friend. I am very sure of it. So now coming back to my story. So Paramashiva just flicks his nail. Mahakala Bhairava manifests. He goes and he cuts off the fifth head of Brahma, which has become so egoistic and become so incomplete. The moment the head is cut off, Brahma settles down and he becomes complete, and he's back to his normal, whatever his activities, whatever his responsibilities are. He becomes stable to that. He comes out of his delusion and Maya that he is Paramashiva, and he understands everything, and he starts getting back to his normal life, the life of a Brahma. Now what happens to the head that is in Mahakala Bhairava's hand? That has become restless. This is already restless because Brahma has empowered it to become restless with a set of incompletions. And it is not getting satisfied no matter what you give to eat, no matter what you do, it is not getting satisfied. So Mahakala Bhairava is running around with his head in his hand, which is always asking him, hey, give me something to eat, give me something to eat, give me something to do, I want this, I want that. Now he doesn't know what to do. Mahakala Bhairava also, he is stuck with this person, with this head. That is incomplete. Whatever you give, it is not complete. It is greedy for something. It is always asking for something more. It's always saying, no, there is something more. There is something more. I need that. I need this. You just gave me only this. I need more from this. I need more from that world. I need more from this world. Finally, Mahakala Bhairava prays to Devi. Devi takes the form of Annapurni, and she offers food in the mouth of the head, the Brahma Kapala, the fifth head of Brahma. And once Devi offers food, all the incompletions of this Brahma Kapala settles down, and he's satisfied. So the incompletions of Brahma are complete when Devi offers food in the form of Annapurni. These temples of Mahakala Bhairava, Annapurni and Vishwanatha are in Varanasi. If you go there, the history of these temples will narrate these stories. This is the Sthala Purana of these temples. So this is how you need to understand your incompletions. Your incompletions are nothing but a manifestation of your self, of your greed, of your fear. How much ever you have, I'm telling you, how much ever you have, in 10 days you will feel you don't have enough. You need something more. You're never going to be satisfied. See, seeking is different, wanting is different. Seeking knowledge, seeking to know better, seeking to expand ourselves, seeking to do more, seeking to help more is completely different. It is joy. It's because you want to do, and it gives you immense joy. But wanting more is not you. It is because someone tells you it is not enough. It is because you've convinced yourself what you have is not enough. For example, let me take it in a very plain manner. You've been working for 5 years, you have a good salary. Now you started owning, let's say, a cycle, then you went to a bike, then you bought a car, a mid-level SUV, At that point of time, 3 years back, you were so excited. You thought, okay, that's it, my life. I have my dream life. I have a 4-wheel drive and an SUV. That's it. But 2 years later, what you start feeling? Oh, I have only an SUV. I should get a Mercedes Benz. Why? How is it going to make any difference? Does it give you better mileage? In what way is it adding value to your life? Oh no, my neighbor has it, and when I go out, people will respect me more only if I get off in a Mercedes Benz, not if I go in this old SUV which I've been having for the last 3 years, so I want to change my car. When you start evaluating your goals based on these incomplete decisions, this is what is incompletion, and this is what causes you suffering. This is the Yaksha's jar inside your heart, inside your brain, and these are the things that are taught to you by your society. If you actually analyze, there is nothing different between an SUV and a Mercedes Benz. They both drive well, they both have fuel, whatever fuel mileage it's supposed to give. What difference does it make? It doesn't make a difference. But it's in your mind how you are going to be evaluated by the society. Or how you evaluate yourself is based on how the society evaluates you. The moment your goals are set based on how the society is going to evaluate you, or based on how you are going to evaluate yourself based on how society is going to respond to you, this is causing incompletions, and this is the Yaksha's jar inside of you. You have only one choice and only one way to get out of it. Just surrender everything to Mahakala Bhairava. And today, Swamiji's incarnation of Paramashiva is available to all of us to just surrender all these incompletions. When you surrender all these incompletions, what happens is you start living life based on the maturity of what you actually want. And you're so complete about these decisions, you're so firm about these decisions, nothing will shake you, nothing can make you suffer or make you incomplete or feel pained. And I'm telling you, when you make these decisions based on this, you will never have depression in your life. Where from depression comes? Because you're always comparing yourself. Because you feel you're not enough, you're not sufficient. There is something inside of you that's always propelling you towards a fear-driven society, propelling you towards a greed-driven society. That you so much want to be part of the society, still you feel depressed because you're going against your own self. Your own self, your consciousness inside of you is not dependent on how people evaluate you or how society evaluates you. It is inside you to just express itself in its purest form, which will always be the best of goodness, the best of you. But because you're going against it, by forcing it to live as per the society norms, the depression, the conflict starts. And this is how depression starts. So Swamiji says the best thing you can do is just surrender all this to Mahakala Bhairava. And today Mahakala Bhairava is available to all of us in the form of Swamiji. The moment you surrender all these sufferings, all these incompletions to Swamiji, he will just burn them away. It is as simple and easy as that. You don't need drugs, you don't need any kind of addiction. You don't need drugs, you don't need alcohol, you don't need to go on binge shopping, you don't need to go on binge eating. You just need to write down incompletion 1, incompletion 2, this is how I want to be, but this is how society is expecting me to be. I'm struggling with this. Write it down and surrender everything to Swamiji. Solution is as simple as that. Just try the solution. I can give you lots of homework, lot of other things you can do as part of the techniques. But if it's a solution, I recommend for each of you, it's a straight cut solution. Straight. Be honest to yourself, be ferocious with yourself, be true to yourself. Write it down and send a letter to Swamiji, or put on his Facebook post or put on his YouTube channel saying you don't even need to even think of wanting to see him. Just connecting to him through his digital pages, it will simply burn out all your incompletions. That is the compassion of Swamiji. This is the power of an incarnation is one. But the compassion of Swamiji is anybody from any corner who wants him, he's available in all ways. Just try it out and give me your feedback in your comments below. This is surely the only solution that will work. And let me assure you, Swamiji's purpose of his avatarhood, incarnation, is that no human being should live with suffering. If you interanalyze this one sentence, you will understand the depth and the infinite compassion of this form of Paramashiva which has come to us in form of Swamiji. Anybody can tell you, any doctor can prescribe drugs or painkillers to manage your pain, but removing the suffering, the source of your pain, is only through Swamiji's grace. Just try it. Just try it once. Put all your suffering, put all your pains, just surrender to him. It's the only solution for the world today. When I mean the world, I mean every individual also. Each one of you. Just write it down and surrender those sufferings to him. He will just take it, swallow it. Like how Shiva swallowed poison and kept it in himself, he will just burn it. Try it and leave your comments after you tried it. Without trying, do not try to troll, do not try to abuse. Because it doesn't matter to me. But when you troll and when you abuse, you are increasing the negativity space inside of you. But if you don't want to have suffering and you want a solution for your suffering and depression, just try this one solution which I have shared. Surrender, write it down, surrender all this to Swamiji. You will see how your life just transforms. Thank you for watching and thank you for trying. And please post your feedback and comments after trying. Nithyanandam.